Often we decide not to do things that we perhaps wanted to do out of fear. And fear convinces us that it's safer and more comfortable not to do them. But life lived through the lens of fear is actually a difficult life. At first, we may think that it's more comfortable, more safe, because it's known. But to my awareness, that's not the case. Because whenever I make a decision out of fear, I never feel free. I still don't feel safe when I made that decision. Whenever I hold myself back, not saying certain things out of fear. What if I get laid off? What if I get evicted? What if the friendship or connection with certain people suddenly are ended? What if a violence breaks out when I share my truth? When I decide to not shy away and be authentic, be vulnerable. All of these fears, because in the past we've been hurt by other people and there is a lack of trust, and so we keep projecting these past fears. We don't want to repeat these same scenarios and things, and we think that by projecting the same stuff we will eliminate the possibility of getting hurt. But the paradox is that when we are trying to run away from the painful past, we project that into future. So basically we recreate it. We don't get rid of it. It's like we're still chained by it. So that's not a life of freedom. That's a life of misery, a life of prison. It's a difficult life if you think about it. It's painful. Now, I don't know about you, but I've said many times yes to my fear and no to the things that's in the other way, hiding behind the fear, that are my desires, my unmet needs, over the fear, or as some people like to call it, terror barrier. I'm tired of saying yes to fear, and saying no to me, to my desires, to myself, to what I want to actually do it. It's paralyzing, it's crushing, it kinda impacts also your self-worth or confidence. Every time we say yes to fear and no to what the desire that hides behind the fear. Every time we say yes to fear, we say no to ourselves. Think about it. Every time we say yes to fear, we become less alive. We decide not to expand, but to contract. Give up on our dreams. our vision. We convince ourselves in that moment that fear is stronger than courage. It's better for us, safer. But is it? If you look at your life retrospectively, every time when you have held back yourself, maybe not talking to a girl or giving yourself permission to try out different things, experiment, show up differently. Every time you decided not to do it, how did you feel afterwards? Where did that lead you? To a more happy life? I recognize that I'm surrounded by people who are different than me. And if I would be unapologetically like 100% authentic, speaking my mind always, not shying back, it would probably trigger them a lot more than now. And walking on eggshells just not to like upset them it's tiring. I'm holding myself back. It means I am stopping my life force. I'm faking, basically. I am pretending to be someone that I'm really not. It's a shitty life. Many of us are so traumatized by the thought or idea that if we get rejected, then it's over for us, you know? Our survival is threatened then. But we live in a different times now. It's not prehistoric tribal times. Of course, it depends on the country and the political regime you live in. In certain places, it's more risky to say what you mean, because you might get punished for it. In other countries, it's more easy to do so. And so it's up for you to decide to change your environment or to stay the same and to risk being you or to hold back. We've been training ourselves for years. Instead of taking tiny acts of courage and to express our needs directly by risking being rejected and said no, instead we've trained ourselves and conditioned ourselves to not to do that, to shy away or to try to express our needs indirectly, often in a way that people don't understand, don't get you. So it is important to start to turn around this practice of everyday consistent game of shying away something, saying no to the things that maybe you'd rather want to do, instead of practicing and experimenting, saying yes to that thing that scares you a little bit, then say yes to another one, and then to another one, and start to get used to the discomfort of uncertainty, not knowing the results, and like being less attached to like certain outcome. It's like if somebody says no to you, like, that doesn't mean that you're less valuable. It's just for some whatever reason people said no to. Maybe they were uncomfortable, or maybe they had some like internal insecurities and issues coming up. So it's like, but we often are so overwhelmed with ourselves that we think it's always us. It's like we are the center of the universe, you know. This is our wound. I learned that successful people, they're willing to collect no's, lots of no's, more no's than other people, in order for them to finally realize and get what they want. They have conditioned themselves or trained themselves that no is not connected to their self-worth, or if they fail, it's an opportunity, so they reframe it, opportunity to learn. It's not like, oh, I'm a loser, I should never try this again. It's like, on the contrary, every time you say no, like, you're potentially robbing yourself from some amazing experience, opportunity, a breakthrough, a miracle in life that you might not seeing it now, but you don't even know what pure possibility is waiting for you. Something that you could never imagine was possible for you. So I invite you to sit with yourself and take an honest review of your life areas, different areas. What are the things that you have been saying no to yourself? You can start with the small things on a daily basis, and then over time build the muscle to look at the bigger things. Things that you've said no to, but you actually wanted to say yes to. And then start from there and see if you can turn around one no to one yes, and see where it leads, how it feels, what happens to you. I guarantee that you will start to gain more confidence. You will start to feel more free, more in your power. And yes, sometimes it comes with risks, potential of conflict. It can happen. It's okay. But we can also learn how to de-escalate the conflict and to resolve it. Non-violent, abusive way, which gives us clarity. We can move forward from it. That's part of life.